like getting used to the short videos. So you're just going through it,
Exactly.
done next, done next, done next. And like it can have other effects too. Like
So, picking up from last time, it was Elliot Kipchoge. I couldn't pronounce his last name, but yeah, this guy. I was scrolling through my Insta and saw a Kipchoge challenge, which was if he could run like in a 13 miles an hour kind of speed for even a minute. You know, it's kind of hard for regular people, even some professional runners, to run in that speed. But this
it's
guy
really crazy that we
Kipchoge,
did that.
yeah, 13. That's just crazy. But Kipchoge ran 26.2 miles. He ran a marathon in that speed. So he literally kept that 13 miles an hour speed throughout the run. What is
I
what
think
is
go on, go on.
what is 13 miles an hour in kilometers per hour? Is that
Let me
like
check.
15?
Let me check. It's 20.92 kilometers per hour. So roughly 21 kilometers per hour.
21 kilometers per hour.
Does he have an engine or something?
I have no idea. I don't know what he eats. That guy should be like I don't know, like he should be feeling himself with something special
Yeah.
because
He's
that's
on
just
those good
unbelievable.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, some good stuff. Yeah, something that we don't have an access to, but yeah. Anyways, it's just unbelievable. I was
Yeah.
running this morning in 10 miles an hour. I literally ran that speed for maybe a minute or two. That was it.
Yeah, and
I
like that's the natural way you gas out.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it's not natural to move like that. Like running
It is
for
not.
yeah, running for like maybe what a whole marathon on 13 miles per hour. That's really crazy.
Th- that's just too much. That's crazy. But kudos to him. Honestly,
Yeah.
kudos to him. Yeah. So
So
one
what's
thing.
what's going on with this whole uh, remote working?
Oh, funny. Oh, okay, so that's that was pretty funny because I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
So whole remote stuff. You know, so many of my friends graduated last semester, and I'm graduating this May. And like you should look for jobs. I'm constantly looking for jobs, and I go on LinkedIn. I talk to friends. I talk to friends who already graduated, and so many of them they're like, "Yeah, we want to work remote. We don't
Yeah.
want to go anywhere. We don't want to relocate. We don't want to even like stay here or maybe stay in Philly or Pittsburgh to work in person."
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because I'm a guy who doesn't like to work remote. I literally just hate working remote and not being in the office kind of environment,
Yeah.
because yeah, honestly, I feel like working remote takes that creativity from people. You're not going to be as creative as you could be, like you can be in the office, I think, or even like in a team kind of environment. Let's say if we were together right now, if we were at the same place, we would be much more creative than we are far away and just seeing each other on the phone or
Yeah.
behind a Zoom meeting or something.
Yeah.
What do you think
That's
about it?
right. Yeah, like what you're saying, 100% is reasonable, and like it takes the whole experience away, the experience of being in the work environment, like
Exactly.
the whole office, like getting like going to a coffee break or something, like dressing up for work and the whole experience behind it. Like that's something that everyone should like get it at least once in their life and then decide if they want to work remotely or not. I mean, at the end, this is just an opinion, but yeah.
Exactly. So, I really feel like that people do need that connectivity with other people around them, especially like in an office environment or like being in a team. Just like get that feeling that you are being a part of a team and trying to achieve something better and more kind of I don't know, meaningful kind of work as a team together. I feel like sitting behind a computer all day long from your home takes that whole good experience, as you mentioned, away from people. So,
Yeah, and like
but
it's not worth it. I mean, it
it,
might be worth it. Like when you look at the benefits, there is a lot of benefits, but for the experience of working somewhere, it might not be worth it emotionally and like
yeah, exactly,
professionally.
exactly. So, let me tell you some of the benefits of like working or studying remotely. I'm not sure about working because I never ever worked remotely, but for studying part during COVID, we had to, of course, study remote. Everything
Yeah,
was on Zoom. Pretty much, most of the professors were just publishing their presentation slides on Canvas or whatever you guys use. Should be same thing, but I had a better chance. Like I mean, I had a chance to review and rewatch all of those Zoom meetings over and over again till I get the material, till I get what the professor is saying, till I get what the whole topic is about. But
yeah.
you don't have that chance when you're in a class. You know, if you don't get it, if you get distracted for like 5 minutes, that's it. Like you
But
were
the other side
distracted.
is it's mostly interactive when you're in the class.
That's
When,
exactly. So it has good and bads.
yeah,
It does have good and bads. Uh, I can remember for most of my classes, it was just our professor who had his or her camera on. Everybody else off cameras. Like literally, they were turning off their cameras. Maybe they were just like literally in the Zoom meeting, but not physically and mentally.
yeah, they were
And
doing
most of my
something
classes,
else.
yeah. Here's the funny part, guys. Sometimes maybe once or twice, I had an 8 a.m. class, and I go to Penn State, but I was back home during COVID, so that would be my 5 a.m. So my
Oh,
8 a.m. class was my 5 a.m. class, and I had to hop on the Zoom. So I literally, I can remember that I did it once or twice again. That I just hopped on the Zoom, didn't have my camera on, and I just slept. Literally
yeah,
slept till 6. I had an alarm. I woke up, log into the next one. you know, that was
so crazy.
yeah, that was just stupid. That was just crazy, and I have no idea how they wanted us to like hop on the Zoom, because professors should know that okay, like I might be in Pacific time zone, someone might be in China, someone might be in Europe, like they're like people from all over the board. It's just not people from Eastern time, not in the East Coast kind of region.
Yeah,
That was one thing super weird about like studying remotely and being at home during COVID. But again, as I said, I had a chance to actually rewatch and understand the material and have a better grasp of the material better. But here's the thing: when I'm in person, like when I have classes in person, I so there's some sort of a limit for me. If I don't understand like maybe point A, okay, I literally say whatever. I go back home. I try to study it on my own. If I get it, I get it. Okay. If I don't, I literally just ask another student or ask a friend. If they know it, okay, good. If they don't, I just leave it alone.
yeah,
But if I don't get like five things, if I don't get five topics, if I don't get like 10 topics, or even if I can't do any of my homeworks and assignments, that's when I go to my professor and for the office hours, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to them if I have literally just one question. It just doesn't feel all right. It just doesn't feel good to go to your professor's office and ask about like one question or that you think it might be dumb. And you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's
Like one
just
experience that I had was like a lot, like more than half of the people in the class were not there, so they did not learn anything. And further in the class, when we had a project, a group project, or something to do that was a teamwork oriented activity, it was horrible experience. Like none of them wanted to contribute. They all wanted to find shortcuts to just get the grade and just, you know, just they didn't care about the whole material that was offered.
it was meaningless.
Yeah,
It was meaningless. It was pretty similar here. Everything was meaningless for people. Like they literally didn't care about the whole material. They didn't care about the class. People couldn't find the whole thing interesting enough. You
yeah,
know, they rather to be on social media. They rather to, I don't know, sleep or whatever they wanted to do. To be honest,
yeah,
and I feel like working from home and working remotely has the exact same effect. Some people might be pretty I don't know, kind of efficient and much more productive working from home, but for a majority of people it should be a meaningless kind of type of work, you know.
yeah.
It's just going to be meaningless. They're just sitting behind a computer like
It's just going to be something like for them to like go in, do a task they're
yeah,
supposed to do,
just
and
finish, exactly,
finish
just
it off.
finish your task and just get your money and like leave.
Yeah,
There's no actual connection, emotional and physical connection with other people and trying to work as a team or a group or whatever.
yeah,
But again, there are some benefits of a remote work, which gives people some sort of flexibility. You know, it's much more better for people who doesn't want to live in like California. You know, rents are kind of expensive
yeah,
back in California, especially SoCal and SF. So it gives that opportunity to people to work in California remotely, but live in Nevada, for an example.
yeah.
You can
So
live in
exactly
Vegas.
as you said, there was a survey, and 57% of workers said remote work had a positive impact on their finances, and this is from
Exactly.
themuse.com.
Exactly. That's literally one of the examples of how remote work can have a positive impact on your life.
Yeah,
Uh, you literally can cut your rent rates in half after you move to somewhere else. You know,
yeah, and the
like
whole better work-life balance. Like you don't have to be like maybe you'll spend 1 hour of your time on the way to your job and back home. Like you can spend that one
yeah,
hour
of course,
elsewhere.
those things adds up for sure. Like if you're living in Orange County and if you want to work in LA without moving to LA, that would literally take you an hour
Yeah,
going to LA, an hour coming back to LA, back to Orange County without the traffic.
yeah. And like
With
other stuff like environmental impacts, like for example, the use of gas, the pollution. So that would be something that also gets affected by this.
exactly. So there again, like I don't want to just talk pretty much negative about like working remote and stuff. You mentioned work life balance. I mentioned like some pretty much like a financial kind of positive impacts, and there there is something interesting about working from home, you know. Some people, in my opinion, do not care about the technology as much.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, I have a laptop, or they had a laptop that they got from their job, and maybe like a really old kind of monitor or whatever in their home. But after everything went remote and after COVID hit, people like try to advance in technology. They were like, okay, I have to buy this, I have to buy that. Then I've been seeing some crazy setups in people's like home. They're like, oh my god, I have like this huge desk that I have like four monitors on it with like my gaming consoles, my this, my that. Then people got into PC here. They're like, okay, PC gaming is a lot more fun than just playing on a console. So I've seen some of those interesting stuff as well. And people got like, I don't know why, but it was some sort of a trend. Maybe it was just on my TikTok. But
Maybe.
yeah, maybe.
No, because I'm a
Algorithm.
console gamer. I was like I spent half of my childhood on consoles. So I never could go and use a PC for gaming, but I know a lot of people love it. But like it's not for me personally. Like I'll still choose the console over the PC any day.
Uh, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's gonna be much more cost effective for most of the people, majority of people, because you're literally paying like, how much are they? How much is a PS5? I mean, if you can still
Five
get a
hundred dollars.
like $400 or $500, comparing to if you want to get a good PC with a good like a setup and specs, you have to spend like $1,500, 2,000.
Yeah.
It comes down pretty expensive, and then like even a keyboard alone, that would like set you around like $100, $200. A
Yeah.
mouse, it adds up. Graphic card, if you can find it for retail, that's like, I don't know, 400, $500. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. The last time that I checked, these prices were like 2 years ago, so I'm not sure how the prices changed uh, because of this whole inflation kind of things. But if you want to like get a good setup, it would cost you like $1,500 at least.
Yeah.
But people think that they can get a better kind of what do you call it? Better frame? Not a frame. Oh God, Jesus. What?
Oh, you're saying, oh, I
I'm
know
talking
what
about
you're
like
talking about.
the
Yeah. Frames per
not not
second.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
FPS.
yeah. FPS, yeah. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, people can
Frames per
get a
second.
better
Yeah.
FPS so they can play better and they can play faster and they can kill faster. So I'm just talking about Warzone because that was a game that I was playing during COVID, like pretty much every night. And it was two of my friends and I, and they were all telling me, "Oh my god!" Like whenever someone killed us in the game, they were like, "They're using a PC." I was
Yeah.
like, why do you say that, Mo? They were like, no, they're using a PC
Yeah.
because
It's more accessible
yeah,
in the game. Like for you to use a mouse, it's much more easier to use uh, the analogs on the
oh yeah, for sure,
controller. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, yeah.
We should do
So
a complete episode on the game.
on the gaming, yeah, yeah, for sure, we should. So I mean, I was personally, you mentioned mouse and keyboard. I was personally using mouse and keyboard on my console, so that was how I was playing Warzone. I just couldn't get used to the whole kind of what do you call it, controller
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Joysticks.
joysticks, yeah, per se. Uh, then I mentioned social media. You want to hop on that?
Yeah. Like social media has been so out of control. A lot of stuff are not supposed to be on there. I mean, we're no professionals, but it's all opinion based. But for example, if a child, if I don't know, a 8-year old has access to all of these stuff available on there, like it it'll influence them. It's influencing the youth,
Of
and
course.
like for a kid to go and like any post anywhere, if you open it, 100% you're going to find some negativity or some swearing or something in the comments.
Of course.
So like for the children to be raised in this kind of environment, it'll it'll mess with their head, you know. Like for example, as a child, 100%, even me and you, anyone, we have a lot of stuff, a lot of memories, and like this thing gets all of that away. Like nowadays, you go out there, everyone's on their phone. I hop on a bus, the person on my left is on their phone, the person on my right is on their phone, the person in front of me is on their phone. I mean, like, what's
Yeah, I
going
know.
on?
I know. And so it's funny how you mentioned back when we were pretty young, when we were in like maybe early high school age and middle school kind of thing, or even like younger than that, we were always playing outside, you know?
Yeah,
We're
outside.
riding on a bike, we were playing soccer, we were doing this, we were doing that. We were pretty active.
Yeah,
We were super active. And that's something that you don't see in kids these days. You know, they're
yeah,
like always on their iPad watching something,
yeah,
playing something. You know, it's they got so into this whole technology kind of thing
yeah.
that I feel like there would be some sort of negative effect on people and kids, and it will show in the future. I think.
Yeah,
You know,
we'll see the effects. I mean,
you
maybe we're wrong about it, and in the future, the next generation will do some big stuff just because they were on social
yeah,
media,
we
on the
we would
games.
never know. We literally would never know. But yeah, I guess we'll find out like maybe 10 years from now or 15 years from now.
Yeah, but like,
But
whenever I call my brother, he's always playing or like playing on his iPad or on
Roblox.
his laptop with his friends on Discord,
Oh my god, that's
on
crazy.
calls, yeah, and like that takes away the whole experience. But maybe that is the experience for them.
Maybe,
No, like
maybe.
it's two different worlds.
Yeah,
But like because we were raised in that environment, we think that is the way to be.
exactly. Maybe.
Yeah, but nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. So one thing, during COVID, TikTok got so big. You know,
Yeah,
I can remember it was 2019. Was it 2019 or it was no, actually it was 2020, I think. It was spring 2020, and then TikTok came out. It was we were super close to our spring break,
yeah,
and my roommate downloaded TikTok, and he was like, "Do you have TikTok?" I was like, "No, I don't." And I can remember that I never ever downloaded like at that moment. But 2 months later, maybe a month later, when I went back home and then COVID hit, then I found out that okay, Penn State is not opening up after spring break. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna download TikTok,
yeah. So
and
let me tell you something crazy. TikTok was actually launched in 2016, but
2016.
but it gathered attraction in 2019 and 2020. In 2019, nearly 700 million times downloaded, and in 2020, 850 million times downloaded.
Bro, honestly, I feel like all of these were planned at this point, you know,
Yeah,
because COVID hit, TikTok was kind of launching, like hot, got hyped. So maybe it was planned. Maybe it was all
you
planned,
never
but
know. You
you would
never
never
know.
know. Exactly, you would never know. But anyways, I downloaded TikTok and I was like, you know what? Let me just hop on this trend. Let me hop on this trend.
Yeah.
Let me see what TikTok is about. Let me see what's on TikTok and what's up. So it was okay for the first couple of days, and it takes kind of like some time, maybe a day or so, for the algorithm to get used to what you like to see and what you want and what you're interested in.
Yeah.
So maybe let's say after a week, I was literally just watching whatever I wanted to watch. So when I was scrolling down, the next thing was exactly what I wanted to watch, what I needed to watch. So yeah, my whole TikTok was I don't know, like half of it were cars, and the other half was like I don't know, like stupid stuff, and I got into tennis, and yeah, guys, I'm sorry, I'm gonna lose it, but yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun, and the whole idea of you scrolling up, that's just crazy because your fingers, I think, get used. Guys, I'm not a medical professional. I have no idea what I'm talking about, like in the medical field, but I feel like your brain get used to like scrolling up. You
Yeah.
just want to scroll up and up and up like nonstop. You don't think about like you might be sitting down and not thinking about what you're doing for hours. Like you just don't get it. Like how playing video games, like you don't notice like
Time
like
passes
time
so
passes like
quickly. Yeah.
so fast. You don't even notice that. It was the same for TikTok. I couldn't even tell like what time it was because I was just scrolling nonstop, and I wasn't even thinking about it. So
Let me
I
tell you
think
something crazy.
go ahead.
So, like, continuing on the thing you said, maybe it was planned. So, TikTok is owned by the Chinese internet company ByteDance.
ByteDance. Yeah,
Yeah.
ByteDance. Yeah.
So, there are some talks that COVID was, uh, like, COVID came out of some Chinese laboratory. I mean, maybe they're connected.
Maybe they're connected. Maybe they're connected. We would never know again.
Yeah.
Guys, don't sue us on these stuff. So I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like these are just opinions. So, but it's just crazy. I mean, we're at this point. I guess we're getting into some sort of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
I feel like COVID was planned, and then TikTok was planned, like to go, like to come out, like you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It was just crazy. The whole thing was crazy to isolate people in their houses and let them scroll nonstop for hours and see like bunch of random BS. They're like, okay,
Yeah.
what's the next one? Let me just scroll through the next one. So that was the thing. To be honest, I've used TikTok for a good amount of time. I've used it for maybe a year and a half, and then one moment, I was talking to one of my good friends in San Diego, and I was telling him how I want to delete TikTok because I'm spending like so much time on it, and my screen time just went up so fast for a long amount of time. So just gonna delete it. I'm not gonna use it anymore. And I've actually deleted TikTok long ago, and I never ever had a feeling that I have to get back on it. But I feel like that whole TikTok stuff makes you super impatient. That was one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to delete TikTok was me being impatient with everything in my life. You know, when you're on TikTok, because videos are super short, they're like about like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30
Oh, so
seconds time frames.
yeah, I get it now. I get it.
Your brain get used to that. Okay, my attention span has to be for only 20 seconds, for
Yeah,
like
and not
30
more than
seconds,
that.
and that's it. And then you scroll through the next one. And if you're tired, like if you're tired of like the next video, if you're tired of the next TikTok, you're 5 seconds in. You just scroll through the next one and the next one and the next one. Your attention
Yeah.
span would be super short, and I feel like that would have such a huge effect on people and how people think and people's patience, you know? So that was one of the biggest reasons that I deleted TikTok, because I was noticing that how I'm impatient with everything in my life and during classes. And I feel like I'm much more patient now, you know? My attention span went a lot higher. It's a lot better than before. What do you think about it?
I mean, like when you put it that way, it's 100%. It 100% has the effect because like your mind is getting like getting used to the short videos. So you're just going through it,
Exactly.
done next, done next, done next. And like it can have other effects too. Like it could affect the way you deal with stuff in your life. So the whole Instagram reels. Because
Social media, exactly.
yeah,
That's the
that's the
exact
same
same, you
thing.
know? That's the
Yeah, that's
exact
the
same
same thing.
thing. That's it. The YouTube Shorts,
Yeah, YouTube
IG
Shorts,
Reels, yeah, TikTok,
they're
same
all
thing. They're all the
trying
same.
to shoot down the whole patience.
You know, and that's scary. If you're impatient, that's just something super scary because let me tell you this. Let's say you're super impatient, your attention span is just for like 20 seconds. How do you want to sit in a class for an hour and a half?
Yeah,
How do you want to pay attention to something for
yeah,
90 minutes? How do you want to pay attention to like an interview for like an hour? How do you want to talk to people about just one thing for an hour? Can you even do that?
yeah, and
Can you?
you should like focus on it more
Yeah,
than
you have
paying
to.
attention. You should
Yeah,
focus.
exactly. You have to be focused. You have to know what the teacher is talking about. You have to know what you're learning. You have to know what you're even saying if you're like in an interview kind of situation or whatever. It's you have to be patient.
Yeah,
And you know, so in a job kind of area, as I said, I'm looking for jobs, and there are lots of like sales positions available, like in like so many different industries, uh, from like real estate, commercial real estate to electrical stuff to medical devices. They're like you can be in sales, you can be in like tech sales, and
yeah,
being in sales needs so much patience. You know, you need to be patient with your customers. You cannot close a deal in like 20 seconds. You cannot close a deal in 30
yeah.
seconds.
A deal may like a big deal may even take a couple of weeks, couple of
Exactly.
months.
It might take a couple months. It might, you know, because for an example, as I said, during my internship, I was like talking to salespeople and like selling something in a huge amount for a big amount of money needs some patience because okay, maybe your customer, maybe your prospect needs some time to figure out like the whole financing aspect of the deal. That takes time, you know, that takes weeks. It might take days, weeks, or even a month. Sometimes your prospect need to think about the deal and if it's the right thing for him or her.
Yeah,
So it needs lots of patience, lots of following up with people, lots of talking to people, knowing how to talk and be focused in that conversation. And
yeah,
that's
and like
just
other than that, social media can like increase the risk of your depression because like everybody's trying to show that they're perfect.
exact. Oh my, that was one of the things that I wanted to talk about. So when you scroll through your IG, what do you see?
Everyone showing the best that they are, like the best things of their lives, the best places they go, the best thing they do. They won't
Best
show
food that they,
when
yeah,
they're, yeah,
exactly.
they won't show when they're down, when they're
They would
like
never
they're
do
dealing
that.
with a problem. They're, yeah, like when was the last time you saw someone post a picture about them getting a rejection, or
Never,
like
never.
posting a story about a grade that they got like an F grade.
You would
I've
never
never
see that.
seen it. Yeah.
You would never see that. So exactly as you said, you would always see people. You would always look at posts that people are partying, people are maybe bought a new thing that they're super excited about, or I don't know, like some sort of positive pictures and posts. You would never see, as you said, someone being down and being like depressed or not having a good time. And one thing about whole IG and like other social medias, whatever you guys use, is I think people do pretend on their posts as well.
Yeah.
Maybe they pretend that they're having fun. Maybe they pretend that they're happy. Maybe they pretend that they're excited about something. But in the reality, they're like just depressed. They're not happy with their lives. They're not happy with something. They do not show their real faces on social media. That's what I think. People do not show their real faces on social
Yeah,
media.
back
And
in
that's
time, everything was so real. Like
everything was real. Yeah,
you, yeah, when you found a friend, it was like a real friend. Like you got to know him by talking to him, by seeing him like a couple of days before, like on a weekly basis, and then you guys started to talk more and then like hang out more, and it created something. But
yeah.
in today's world, it's
That
just one
authenticity,
button. Yeah, it's just one button,
like
and
if
that's it.
yeah, like a friendship authenticity. So what I think, in my opinion, like back, like before social media and stuff, people were much more authentic. People were sharing their good and bads. If I had a bad time, I would tell my friend because he or she was my real friend. It wasn't about social media and me pretending that I'm happy. Let's say
And they will
I'm
actually see that because they would call you or they will come to visit you and they would see you as you are, not as you pretend to be.
exactly. That is 100% correct. And they would share that moment with you,
Yeah.
no matter if it was good or bad, no matter if it was happy or sad, they would share that moment with you because they were your real, true friends.
Yeah.
And that's something crazy about social media. Amir, what do you think about how do you think that social media had any effects on people's relationships or like dating
100%.
life or even family life?
100%. Like, not that we have seen those days, but as we hear the stories, like back in the day, like people actually went out and meet each other and then spend time with each other. Then they decide to, I don't know, like go and like ask each other out, and it was much more pure. And like uh then if something happened in that relationship, that when those two people broke up, like they were gone. Like there was no platform for you to, I don't know, stalk or like
Or
see
chase
what
them
they're
down?
doing
Yeah,
anymore. So that person was gone. But like these days, nowadays, people first like follow each other on places, then I don't know, start reacting to each other's
they
stuff.
send like random
Yeah,
meaningless messages and
yeah. And
reactions.
then
Yeah,
they decide to go out, and then like one half of the relationship finds a better person to go out with or something, because it's much more easier to find people. Like it's just two buttons away for you to, I don't know, randomly search a name and like find thousands of accounts with those names. And like
exactly.
it's much easier to find new people and like connect with them. And it has its own benefits, and it has brought some problems.
exactly. As you mentioned, it did. I mean, it had some benefits and problems at the same time. What I also think about how social media affected relationships was the whole hype about like Tinder and Bumble and those kind of social, like dating kind of social medias.
Yeah, like
It
what
was
the hell is Tinder? Like what the hell
it's
is Tinder? Like
it
it's a one night stand app. It's not a dating app.
yeah. I mean, some people are looking for that kind of relationship, but no judgments here. But it's not. I mean, I know some people. One of a friend of mine just got. They're getting married next year. Actually, boy proposed to her. It was during spring break, so it was last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever. And they met each other on Tinder, and they're happy. He's a nice guy. She's a nice girl. It does happen time to time for people and to people that meeting love of their life on Tinder or Bumble or whatever they were using, but uh, it's kind of meaningless to me because you literally there are like thousands of boys and you're literally just looking at their pictures and girls and that's it. You don't know about them. I mean, yeah, you guys talk to each other, but I feel like most of the girls on Tinder, they're for just information, they're just a boy to text them, oh my god, you're beautiful, oh my god, you're this, oh my god, you're that. You know what
Just
I'm
there
saying?
for the attention. Yeah, just for the
Yeah,
attention.
just for the attention. There are lots of people on those apps for the attention, and that can have some sort of negative effect on other people, on boys and girls, because they signed up with some huge hopes of, oh my god, I'm gonna find love of my life
Love of
on
my
this
life.
app, exactly on this app, and we're going to live together forever. But what it turned out to be was just a confirmation app, some sort of thing, you know, just for boys and girls to confirm each other on their looks or their fit or their body or whatever.
Yeah,
And that's just, I don't like that.
yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it
You know, let
personally,
me tell you something. I've never signed up in any dating app ever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's just not us, It's just not us. And I was listening to guys. I was listening to I forgot her first name, but her last name is Wolf. The person who founded Bumble. She was a co-founder of Tinder, and she was talking about in this one podcast that how there were lots of cyberbullying on Tinder and how like boys were getting aggressive with girls, and then she decided to like, okay, I'm gonna leave Tinder and I'm gonna open up my own thing. It's a long story short. She opened up Bumble so girls could make the first move, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's still the same thing, Even if the girl makes the first move, it's still the same thing. There would be still some meaningless stuff, but again, some people don't know the exact stats, but some people would find love their life on Bumble or Tinder or whatever app they're using. It's good and bad, just like remote work, just like
Just
studying
like
your
everything
language,
in life.
just like everything else in life. Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
anything that has its good things has its bad things too. Like it's just about the people and the way they use it. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I have no idea where we're going, uh, but hopefully some are good. With this whole social media stuff. Hopefully some are
Yeah.
good. Hopefully some are productive and efficient. So some are that makes everything easier for people to do in their lives, and you know, some are positive.
Yep.
growing
Yeah,
for
you're right.
better and like seeking for better. I mean, I guess we'll see.
We'll
Again, we would
see.
never know, but we'll see. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today, and it was a good talk.
it was a
And
great talk, honestly.
yeah, we hope to see you guys next time.
Hope to see you guys next time.